It's a night of deep thoughts for the ruling Jubilee Party after losing in the Rurie, Bonchari and Juja mini polls, the latter being the president's political backyard entry constituency. We have the details here tonight, but first, these are the stories making headlines tonight. Tonight, the Jubilee Party has suffered another major humiliation in its perceived stronghold after little-known PEP party run by Moses Kuria won the Juja parliamentary seat. Elections Observations Group condemns post-by-elections chaos, with Juja recording the highest chaos following allegations of alleged vote rigging. President Uhuru Kenyatta appoints Justice Martha Koome as Chief Justice moments after the National Assembly approved her nomination. And the Council of Governors puts the Senate on the spot over its conduct in dealing with the impeachment of governors. This following the ouster of Wajir Governor Mohamed Abdi. Mini Mbesa is our sign language interpreter. Good evening, I'm Abubakar Abdullahi. Welcome to the broadcast. To our top story tonight, and George Koimburi of the People's Empowerment Party is the MP-elect for Juja constituency. Koimburi was declared the winner Wednesday evening by IEBC officials following a hotly contested by-election in the constituency. Koimburi, who garnered 12,159 votes, fended off competition from his main competitor, Jubilee's Susan Waititu, who garnered 5,746 votes and will now replace former Juja lawmaker Francis Waititu, who died in February this year. David Mudoka was in Juja and has filed the following report.
At exactly 5 p.m. Wednesday evening, as the IEBC concluded what had become a delayed and controversial tally for the Juja constituency mini polls, Juja MP-elect George Koimburi could not resist tears of joy. After two unsuccessful runs for office in 2013 for the Theta ward seat and in 2017 for the Juja constituency seat, the businessman was duly on course to fill in the Juja MP seat that has been vacant for 3 months. This follows the demise of former Juja lawmaker the late Francis Waititu, and clinched the seat he missed by a whisker 4 years ago did he, this time with a landslide victory, amassing 12,159 votes in a by-election that saw just 21,862 voters turn out.
The highest number that we have is 12,159. That is written against the name Dongo George Koimburi.
What was termed as a two-horse race amid attracting a total of 11 aspirants, saw Koimburi trounce his main competitor Jubilee's Susan Waititu, who came a distant second after garnering 5,746 votes.
Nataka kushukuru chama cha PEP, People Empowerment Party, pamoja na William Samoei Arap Ruto, maana wamenishikilia sana. Mjue nikitoka kwa chama ambacho kinachotawala kulikuwa na intimidations, kulikuwa na shida mingi.
Koimburi's victory was welcomed by People's Empowerment Party boss Moses Kuria, who was accompanied by other leaders allied to Deputy President William Ruto's Tangatanga faction.
Tulikuwa tumeambiwa ya kwamba hatuwezi, na tumeweza kwa sababu ya Mwenyezi Mungu, na kwa sababu ya maombi yenu, na kwa sababu ya kura zenu.
I want to congratulate our hustler nation kwa kusimama na mahasla wenzao, na pia kusimama against the intimidation by the state.
Hii ni mwanzo mpya kwa siasa ya mlima wa Kenya. Watu ya mlima wa Kenya wameamua vile watasonga. Hawataamuliwa na hawataambiwa. Na tungetaka kuambia wale wanakaa Nairobi wakingojea endorsement huko State House ati watapatiwa kura za Mount Kenya, wasahau.
The court on Thursday vindicated me, and today the people have also vindicated me. They have shown they are in hustler nation. they are not going to follow other routes.
The race for the Juja MP seat that was widely touted as a dual pit in President Uhuru Kenyatta's Jubilee Party and opposition within his Mount Kenya backyard now has seen defectors in the ruling party with the last laugh. Even before the dust settles, Juja MP-elect George Koimburi will know that he has just 14 months to convince residents why he should be re-elected in the upcoming general elections that are barely 1 year and 2 months away. David Mudhoka, TV47 at Juja, Kiambu County.
Thank you, David Mudhoka, for that report. And to Bonchari, where ODM's Pavel Oyumoke has won the Bonchari parliamentary seat after a hotly contested by-election. Oyumoke garnered 8,049 votes against Jubilee's Zebedeo Pore, who garnered 7,279 votes. UDA's Teresa Bititu, who is the widow of former MP John Oyakarada, finished third with 6,964 votes. ODM had earlier on complained of intimidation from police.
Eric Oigo Nyakeya, 1,169. Robert Pavel Oboto Oimeke, 8,049. Victor Omare Omanwa, 130.
I wish to take this opportunity to thank, first of all, the Almighty God for having delivered the victory. I also wish to thank my party, ODM, for the support that they have given me. And I also wish to thank our party leader, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. I also wish to thank my governor, His Excellency James Ogwai.
Let me congratulate my brother Pavel. You are a hard nut to crack. Let me congratulate my party leader, Baba. Baba, we wish him well, and we hope that he recovers quickly from the ravages of whatever diseases that we have at the moment.
And still on matters by-elections, and Elections Observation Group ELOG has condemned the super agents in the just concluded Juja, Bonchari and Ruri ward by-elections for inciting violence during the entire electoral process. And as Daniel Masidza now reports, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, has called for the prosecution of the perpetrators.
During a press conference in Nairobi, the Elections Observer Group's chairperson, Anne Ireri, explained that super agents, who are mainly political leaders, must be held responsible for the chaos witnessed at Mangu High School after allegations of vote rigging during the by-elections in Juja. While Juja constituency experienced disruption of vote counting, Bonchari experienced failure of the KIMS kits and voter bribery.
And indeed, we have condemned and over-condemned. I think a critical case study, and I can assure you Kenyans and parents are watching, was yesterday. As I've maintained, the violence that took place at Mangu High School was utterly embarrassing because at the backdrop were students in session. I was there, I saw the students. So we owe these students an explanation, and personally, I hope, and I'm waiting to see if there's a parent who should actually be able to sue the government for that failure, because should anything have happened, what would we have been dealing with? That's a case of students innocently being hurt. So we need concrete action. Someone needs to pay. And I do know, for instance, players such as the judiciary are waiting for such cases. So we call upon Kenyans to be more vigilant. There's only so much we can do, and I want to laud the Fourth Estate. You have been there and you've been able to cover these incidents. So we need to see more proactive work. But as we have said, the DCI and the National Police Service need to also work up their game. A lot of these incidents are captured on camera. That's evidence by itself. What is taking investigation so long?
Most ELOG observers were permitted to observe in all the polling stations in which they were deployed. However, in the Juja JKUAT DEB polling station, our observer was briefly ejected before the field leadership intervened to allow him to continue with his work. This is still the station where later in the day there was an attempt to try and stuff ballot boxes. We also had functioning KIMS kits before the voting commenced.
Speaking in Juja, the Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission chairperson Wafula Chebukati asked the Director of Public Prosecutions Nurdin Haji to initiate the prosecution of perpetrators of violence during the by-elections.
For us as a commission, we shall of course write to the DPP to prosecute anybody who was involved in last night's mayhem. But we wait for the final report. We wait for the investigation report from the police and also our team, and we shall be making further statements on the matter in the course of the week or so.
Meanwhile, Kiambu Governor James Nyoro has denied claims that he instigated the chaos witnessed in Juja on Tuesday night.
In the process of raising the questions with the officials, some of the members, some of the people from the opposition, from our opposing side, started shouting at us. And it is very, very important that people watch that clip and watch it very carefully, because we were seated very peacefully until some of our opponents started shouting at us. And we didn't have any choice. We only responded.
Several politicians, including Kiambu Governor James Nyoro, Murang'a Senator Irungu Kang'ata, Gatundu South MP Moses Kuria, and Kiharu MP Ndindi Nyoro are reported to have stormed at Mangu Tallying Center before being kicked out by the police. Daniel Masiza,
Elsewhere, President Uhuru Kenyatta has gazetted the appointment of Lady Justice Martha Koome as the country's Chief Justice. The move came just hours after the National Assembly approved her appointment. Koome becomes Kenya's first female Chief Justice and will be expected to mend the rocky relationship between the judiciary and the executive.
This House approves the appointment of Honorable Lady Justice Martha Karambu Koome as Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya.
A few hours after the National Assembly approved her appointment as the country's Chief Justice, President Uhuru Kenyatta gazetted Martha Koome's name, paving way for her swearing-in. National Assembly's Justice and Legal Affairs Committee had approved her appointment, becoming the country's first female head of the judiciary.
A lot of the men, when they're standing up to speak, they're trying to say she's just a good leader. Yes, she's an amazing leader. But we cannot stop underlining the fact that she is a woman. And we have to celebrate that, not just for her, but for the many women in this country, the girl child, and the women that aspire to be leaders. What I like about Martha Koome, because I've actually been to a few of the forums that she held when she was heading the task force for children, is the fact that she's very humble, extremely humble. She has integrity, she is grounded, she's compassionate. I recall an interview where she said, "Children have no voices, so I choose to speak for them."
It is her duty to the people of Kenya, it's her duty to uphold in accordance with Article 159.
Justice Martha Koome faces a task in cementing the relationship between the judiciary and the executive, following the rocky relationship during her predecessor, Justice David Kanani Maraga's term. She has also been appointed at a time the country is split over constitutional amendment, a matter that is now before the courts after the 5-judge bench halted the BBI process, terming the process unconstitutional.
I want to speak to Lady Justice Martha Koome and ask her to jealously guard the independence of the judiciary. She must protect the judicial officers, Honorable Speaker, from the intimidation we have seen from the likes of Raphael Tuju of the Jubilee Party.
Koome is also faced with the standoff between the judiciary and the executive over the appointment of 41 judges, promising to have a sit-in with the president over the delay of the appointment. Koome becomes the country's third Chief Justice since the current constitution came into force in 2010. The Law Society of Kenya had questioned the Judicial Service Commission's decision to settle on her for the job.
Concerns against this nominee were raised by the Law Society of Kenya on what was termed as misapprehension or skating around the concern of our acting on the direction of the executive, a fact that was evident.
9 candidates were interviewed for the position of Chief Justice.
You're watching your channel of choice, TV 47 News Tonight with me, Abu Bakr Abdullahi. Time for us to take a short break. Stay tuned.
Old stories.
Welcome back. Now the court hearing the Kenya shillings 791 million shillings NYS scandal case was today forced to adjourn today's sitting after it emerged that 2 accused persons in the case have no lawyers to represent them in the case. The court was told that lawyer representing accused person Ben Gotv passed on and is yet to be buried. Kirinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru was appearing before the court as a witness in the case. Chief Magistrate Francis Andai dismissed a bid to bar the media from covering Waiguru's testimony as a witness in what was termed as a fear of misreporting. Waiguru will be testifying on the 5th and 6th of August this year.
I would like to call upon the 2 accused persons, that is the 4th and the 9th. The fourth accused person is Benson Gedi Mshemi. You have a right to be represented by counsel of your choice, and we have learned that your advocate has passed on. It's upon you to make an informed decision of yourself, considering this matter, the long it has taken, how far, where it is going, and the fact that also this case could land you in prison for long if the prosecution actually proves its case, or you may be set free. Make a decision on whether you are ready to proceed with the case or not of Mr. Ogara, and may the Lord rest his soul in eternal peace, and our sincere condolences to the family and all the practitioners who work with him. And for lack of representation of the third and the ninth accused person, the hearing of the case cannot proceed today.
Elsewhere, the Council of Governors has expressed its displeasure with the impeachment of former Wajir Governor Mohamed Abdi Mohamud by terming it as one that was greatly flawed. Governors have faulted senators for playing politics and lowering the standards and the threshold for the impeachment of a governor.
The Council of Governors has come out guns blazing, accusing the Senate of playing politics in the impeachment of former Wajir Governor Mohamed Mohamud, who was sent home by 25 senators after a Senate Select Committee of 11 members unanimously endorsed the County Assembly's decision to impeach Mohamed Abdi Mohamud. The Council, led by its chair and Embu Governor Martin Wambora, who escaped impeachment 3 times, says it will take action after a meeting with all governors later in the week.
The Council of Governors would like to express its discontentment in the manner in which the Senate has carried out the impeachment of Wajir Governor, His Excellency Ambassador Mohamed Abdi Mohamud. The Council strongly fouls the whole process. On the face of it, the impeachment process appears to be political witch hunt. Advisors should not be around to disrupt governance.
The council says the impeachment motion in both the Senate and the Wajir County Assembly was in contrary to the law, as there were 2 court orders barring the 2 houses from proceeding with Mohamed's impeachment. They have also faulted the swearing in of Governor Ahmed Ali Mukhtar. The council says the provisions of swearing in were not followed as the ceremony was hurriedly undertaken.
Senate lowering the standard of proof and the threshold of impeachment matters, and thus exposing the counties to political upheavals.
The council has faulted the Senate for having double standards when conducting the impeachment of governors. The council says the allegations leveled against Mohamed Mohamud are the same as those leveled against Kirinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru, who was let scot-free by the Senate. They now want the standards and threshold of impeaching a governor looked into afresh.
So we really need to consider what threshold, what standards are put in place to impeach a duly elected representative of people from office.
The governors have also accused the Senate of failure to hearing Mohamed Mohamud's submissions in regard to some of the accusations leveled against him. Mwangi Maina, TV47, Nairobi.
Well, still in Wajir, and all eyes are on Wajir County's new governor, Ahmed Ali Mukhtar, after Wajir former governor was impeached 2 days ago by the Senate. The youthful governor has a lot laying ahead of him, with critical departments like that of health in need of urgent attention. The county now looks a bit polarized as well on political ideology, and residents expect the new county government boss to unify the people ahead of the campaigns which could divide the people further.
This could be his moment. This could be a chance of transition and a platform to build a political scorecard. Young as he looks, the task ahead of him might not be as promising. His focus is specific, and all should be achieved in the short time he has.
To this end, I commit myself to prioritize enhanced services, especially in the critical sectors of health.
The health sector in Wajir has been on its knees, although the county hospital is now fully operational after health officials resumed duty. Talks are underway to permanently solve the standoff. All units in the hospital are now functional, including vital departments such as the renal unit and the maternity wing, delivering services efficiently. The operation of this hospital remains to be cardinal for Wajir County government, but has also been a center of criticism for so long on its medical services. Most importantly, thousands of locals across the 6 sub-counties see this hospital as their only source of healthcare. Wajir County Health Team on Wednesday held a meeting attended by the new governor and the county secretary. It is believed that the governor's immediate dedication to champion the health department's success could solicit an immediate solution, and the residents of Wajir are optimistic about the new administration.
The health sector is ailing. We have seen, even including you media guys, running a story about how the referral hospital is, how the sub-county hospitals are. This is an area he should address very quickly, as he has pledged that he's going to work on the education and the health sector and what have you. This is a man we have a lot of trust in, and I think, and to the best of my understanding of his character and personality, he will deliver.
The economic status of the county is deplorable, owing to the huge debts the county government sits on, and major businesses in the county have failed to hold ground as a result. Even as Mukhtar begins to refurbish the health docket, a bigger task lies ahead of him, and most importantly, upholding the symbol that binds the county, unity and justice.
The deliveries are only on two. When you bring people together and you build the fabrics of the society and you bring people together, then you pay the pending bills, and that is something that we have to insist, because the economy is not thriving. The whole town is in bad situation.
Isadin Haji, TV 47, Wajir County.
Thank you, Isadin Haji from the vast Wajir County. Elsewhere, National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi is on Saturday set to be installed as the Gema community's spokesperson. Muturi is currently on a seclusion and is not allowed to interact in any way with a lady or even take meat. And as reporter Elizabeth Mutuku now reports, elders from the region say that Muturi will only be a spokesman and not the region's kingpin.
The Speaker of the National Assembly, Justin Muturi, has been on 8 days seclusion ahead of the coronation planned for this weekend. And in his absence, members of parliament raised concern in the House.
I'm concerned about the whereabouts of our Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we have been reading in the media that our Speaker is under some spell somewhere. He's been put in quarantine for about 8 days or 10 days in some place. How safe, Mr. Speaker, is our Speaker?
Is actually available on call, especially from those people who are fairly, I do not want to go beyond there, but he's okay. There is no quarantine whatsoever. So
during an event planned for this Saturday, Muturi is set to be crowned the spokesman of all Gema communities. During the 8 days, the Speaker will not be allowed to interact in any way with the lady. He will also not be allowed to take meat and will bathe with water from river and not a shower. Elders from different regions in the area have been visiting his home to ensure he adheres to the rules.
To be the spokesman of the Agikuyu.
I think what they have decided today is that he is following the procedures. He has followed each and every of the requirements, including not doing many things, entertaining young people, entertaining other people, So he has to really do what requires to be ritually pure.
The elders, however, say they are only crowning him to be region spokesman and not replacing Uhuru Kenyatta as the region's kingpin.
Over 6,000 elders, we are in agreement of the proposed event of picking our spokesman for Mountain Region, Justin Muturi. We have the president, but we are making him the spokesman. We want anybody who wants to engage Mount Kenya to pass through our spokesman.
Let's not give big names that are in the Bible. Coronation. Uhuru Kenyatta is still our president. How can you coronate another person if we have Uhuru Kenyatta? Then let's not misuse the English language. English language is very precise and very scientific. Hakuna kofia mmeona atawekelewa. There's no coronation. He's being blessed, if you wish, anointed, to be the superior of the elders.
The speaker is set to be crowned in an elaborate ceremony at the historic Mukurwewa Nyagathanga Shrine in Gaturi, Murang'a County.
A great moment, I must say, for self-reflection and also to look at and consider the issues that affect our region.
However, a section of leaders from the region led by Murang'a Governor Mwangi wa Iria are said to be against the coronation. Section of members of Murang'a County Assembly have vowed not to allow the ritual event to take place at the Mukurwewa Nyagathanga Shrine this Saturday. Elizabeth Mutuku, TV47 Nairobi.
Thank you, Elizabeth Mutuku. And just as a reminder, the speaker is not allowed to interact with a lady for the time of seclusion. He's not allowed to eat meat, and he will be the spokesperson and not the region's kingpin. Time for us to take another short break. Stay tuned. We still have a lot lined up for you. We'll be back with more after this break.
Raukia siku njema na tunukiwa offers kila siku. Pata offers zote mahali pamoja ili uongeze zaidi, utume SMS zaidi na ubrowse zaidi.
Wewe usijali. Tuma namba ya kila supplier kwa hiyo soko. Ndio nitaongea na kila mmoja wao.
Very good. Piga *444# utunukiwe Credo double.
Raukia siku njema na tunukiwa offers kila siku.
As the country gears up for possible BBI referendum and 2022 general elections.
As the salvos enter too familiar territory,
William Ruto will serve his 5 years term as the deputy president.
Pundits Night is here to give you powerful, thought-provoking political commentaries.
The mountain can produce a country.
Give Moses Kuria a chance to respond. Let me ask you this. Are you not taking advantage of first my situation?
You talk about the people with the ultimate power.
Kikuyus will vote for somebody from outside their community to be the next president of this country.
We talk to the newsmakers, the opinion shapers, and the pundits.
Fair enough. I believe
that part so that I don't
As we dissect everything you need to know to make an informed decision.
Well, make sure to join us on a Morning Cafe, where we have comprehensive political debates, newspaper review, in-depth analysis on matters of business, alongside KCK, lifestyle talks that will involve matters health, fitness, and not forgetting nutrition. And to cream it all on Friday, that is on Feel Good Friday, where we allow you to interact with the entertainment gurus as we close the week. With me, Linda Alela.
Wanasema wasemao kwamba mwenye chungu mekoni haachi kuriaria. Kipindi cha tasnia ya elimu kinavuka milima na mabonde kuwafikia wadau katika shule za msingi.
Sitarudi nilikotoka, ni mbele natazamia.
Upili
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Now, Japanese nationals in the country working on projects being implemented under government-to-government agreements will be exempted from paying income tax. This is after the National Assembly passed the motion today.
A motion tabled by the Committee on Delegated Legislation seeking to exempt Japanese companies, employees and consultants from income tax was passed by the National Assembly Wednesday. The committee affirmed that the agreement will only pardon taxation on Japan nationals working on projects between the two governments.
The main purpose, Mr. Speaker, of this exemption of income tax before us today, as indicated is in respect of income accruing in or derived from Kenya by Japanese companies, consultants and employees involved in projects under the financing agreements signed between the government of Kenya and the government of Japan.
The committee further emphasized that the Kenyan government will also seek a similar income tax exemption for Kenyans in Japan.
Part of what my chairman has said, this is an agreement purely between the government of Kenya and the Japanese government. What the Japanese government is seeking is to get an exemption of its employees and companies and their consultants for the work that they do to Kenya or that they do in Kenya. Basically, this is for the monies that they give to Kenya as grants or loans, that they are saying, we have brought in this kind of money, exempt our people, exempt our consultants, exempt our employees from paying income tax in Kenya. Purely because even from where they are coming from in Japan, they are paying their income tax.
The two countries have enjoyed close ties that have seen Kenya in the recent past secure financial support for key infrastructure projects such as the ongoing Special Economic Zone in Mombasa County. In Kenya, income tax is charged annually on income accrued in or was derived from the country by residents and non-residents. The tax includes corporate tax, pay as you earn or payee, and withholding tax. Grace Josephine for TV47.
Elsewhere, Kisumu County has recorded an alarming number of COVID-19 cases over the past 2 weeks, including the first 5 cases of the Indian COVID-19 strain in the country. But what does this mean for the Lake Region Economic Bloc and the county itself, as it is set to host this year's Madaraka Day on the 1st of June? Zainab Mohammed with the details.
Approximately 2 weeks after the Ministry of Health announced the presence of the Indian COVID strain in the country and specifically Kisumu County, the number of infections in the region has been significantly going up, with fears that the county might just be the next India. On May 18th, Kisumu County for the first time reported the highest number of cases on that day, with a total of 102 cases, the county even surpassing the country's epicenter, Nairobi County. Data from the Ministry of Health showing between the 5th and the 12th of May, the county recorded a total of 241 cases. A week later, between the dates of 12th and 19th May, the county recorded 296 cases, 55 more cases than the previous week. However, despite the fears, unlike Kisumu County, the entire Lake region is significantly recording a reduction in the total number of COVID-19 cases. Between the dates of 5th and 12th May, the same period, Kisumu County was recording a high in COVID-19 cases. The Lake Region Economic Bloc recorded 1,048 cases. A week later, 117 cases less the previous week, with a total of 931 cases. Fears of the rising number of COVID-19 infections in Kisumu County have been confirmed by Kakamega Governor Wycliffe Oparanya. Oparanya warns that the ongoing surge in Kisumu County threatens the entire Lake Region Economic Bloc, including his county, Kakamega County. According to Oparanya, leaders from the entire economic bloc need to urgently come together in order to come up with a quick solution to the matter.
This is now an opportune time for us to meet as governors from the 14 counties so that we make concrete decisions on what should happen in case there is this fourth wave that is being anticipated. But secondly, we have been pushing for more testing centers in this region. It is unfortunately that we have to rely on Kisumu only, where the samples are collected from all over. They're taken to Kisumu, and the results take time. People have not turned out as required to be vaccinated.
Kisumu County is set to host this year's Madaraka Day celebrations on the 1st of June. However, should the infections rate continue as is, the government might just move the celebrations elsewhere. Meanwhile, the country has today recorded a total of 367 new COVID-19 infections, 318 recoveries, and 14 new deaths. Zainab Mohammed, TV47.
Now, two families at Komarok Estate in Nairobi are in search of their missing daughters who were last seen on the 7th of May 2021. 17-year-old Charlene Wangari Kabura and her friend 16-year-old Melissa were last seen within the estate. Charlene's mother says since they started looking for the girls, they have not received any information of their whereabouts. Charlene is a student at Loreto Girls, while Melissa is a schools at St. Teresa Girls School in Nyeri County. The two families are pleading with anyone who has information on the girls to reach them through the following phone lines: Child Kenya toll-free number 0800223344 or 0722703139 or 0722839540 or report to the nearest police station. The case has been reported at Masiba Police Station in Kayole.
Na they never came back. Ningeomba Wakenya wote pahali wanatusikia, wakiwa wamewaona wawaambie warudi nyumbani, hatuna ubaya nao, tumewakaribisha na tutawasikiza.
Tuko na huzuni sana Charlene, vile ulipotea mkiwa na Melissa. Tunawaomba mrudi nyumbani. Kila mtu amewamiss, kila mtu ako na huzuni sababu yenu, kwa sababu hatujui mahali mko. Rudini nyumbani, mkuje tuongee, kila kitu tutawasikiliza. We love you.
And please, if you have any information of the whereabouts of the two girls, kindly reach the family on the numbers that we have just shared. Elsewhere, a border rider died instantly after he was electrocuted in a pool of water along Kandunyi Malaba Highway today morning when he went to wash his motorcycle. According to his colleagues, the deceased, only identified as Felix, met his untimely death after he entered into the pool in oblivious that naked electrical cables were in the water. The Red Riders say despite reporting to the Kenya Power over the loose cables, their complaints fell on deaf ears.
Nikipita hapa kuna gari ya ambulance yenye kuna gari trailer ilikuwa imebeba magari ya ambulance. Hii ndio ilikata hii stima na ikaenda. Sasa hiyo magari, kuna mama anatoka hapa nyuma akawapigia watu wa Kenya Power simu na wakakuja wakapita wakaangalia na wakaenda. Hawakushughulika.
Kwanza kabisa hii stima ilikatika jana. Na tangu jana hatujaona kama Kenya Power imeshughulikia hii maneno. Ilikatika jana jioni, wamekuja hapa wakaona, lakini hakuna kitu yoyote wamefanya nini? Wameshughulikia. Ona mwenzetu ndio yeye amekufa hapa hivi kwa kufanya nini? Kwa kutozingatia sheria. Yeye amekuja kuosha hapa pikipiki yake.
Ni mwana bodaboda hapa Kandunyi Mlika Mwizi. Shida inaenda kwa Kenya Power. Hao watu wanaanza kutuudhi. Especially hao tena maaskari wenye wanasimama mbele yetu hawa. Sisi tuko hapa tuna moon na wanaanza kuleta hapa tuna mambo na matia gas.
Now, 3 counties neighboring the Konza city have signed a memorandum of understanding to create 73,000 acres of new urban development. The 3 counties of Machakos, Kajiado and Makueni have reassured their commitment to the creation of a buffer zone around the city.
In a partnership sealed through a memorandum of understanding, 3 counties, Machakos, Kajiado and Makueni, partnered with the national government through the Konza Technopolis Development Authority, reassuring their commitment to the creation of a buffer zone around the city.
A lot of resources have gone in already and a lot more resources are going in. We are creating employment for Kenyans. The closest neighbors to Konza are Kajiado, Makueni and Machakos. So we hope that as we continue to work together, we will resolve whatever issues there are, that you will support those people to deliver on the mandate that we have.
The signing of the MOU was witnessed by Interior Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i. Matiang'i saying the move by the 3 counties will prevent Konza from encroachment and uncontrolled development. This, according to the CS, will protect thousands of jobs, investments and wildlife.
I mean, if we did this in every aspect of leadership in our country, we would be miles ahead. Because we met a while ago, the 3 governors, and agreed that we have to have the buffer zone around Konza to protect it, because as a project of that magnitude, if we do not protect it, then the investors will walk away.
The MOU will facilitate proper planning of the belt, the first of its kind in the country, being implemented jointly between the national government and the county governments. In April this year, the 3 county governments suspended the issuance of new development permits for a period of 90 days in the Konza Spatial Planning Belt. Andrina Kilemi, TV 47.
Let's get to some business news. And sugarcane farmers who supply their produce at the Nzoia Sugar Factory can now breathe a sigh of relief after the miller agreed to pay them twice every week. The move is meant to reduce the existing debt of 75 million shillings owed to farmers. Mike Kagwongo has more.
In recent days, Nzoia Sugar Factory has faced a number of challenges, with farmers who supply their sugarcane here threatening to hold demonstrations over unpaid dues accrued since 2019. The farmers have also decried the company's tendency to harvest their sugarcanes, only to abandon them in farms. According to the factory, there has been a total of 170 million shillings in debt accrued since 2019. But the debt owed to farmers has since been reduced to 75 million shillings.
Ni hali ya kuangalia rasilimali ambazo tulizonazo na tunazipatia kwa mgao. Kuna nafasi ambayo tunapatia wakulima wetu, kuna asilimia fulani ambayo tunapatia wafanyikazi wetu, na kuna asilimia fulani ambayo mpaka pia tulipe wale wanaotupa bidhaa na huduma.
When the factory resumed its milling activities a year ago, it had a debt of 859 million shillings, but now the management says it owes 465 million shillings in debt. The drastic fall in debts has been aided by the move to make 2 payouts every week, and the management is urging farmers to remain patient.
Much as we have paid our farmers since we commenced operations to the tune of 859 million, we also acknowledge that we owe our farmers, as at today, 465 million. But what we are doing is we try and pay our farmers twice every week to try and reduce the gap that we do have. We also have a significant owing to our employees, both permanent, temporary and casual.
In August last year, Agriculture CS Peter Munya disbanded the boards of management of 3 sugar milling companies, including Nzoia, Chemelil and Miwani, in a bid to achieve their privatization bid. The move ushered in an interim committee to run Nzoia Sugar Factory affairs.
The government created another board which is called the Interim Management Committee, which comprises CEOs of public millers, representatives from AFA and representatives from the Ministry of Agriculture. That Interim Management Committee is the one that is now playing the role that was hitherto being played by the boards.
However, in collaboration with the Kenya Railways Corporation, transportation of sugar has been eased, with Nzoia now penetrating various parts of the country.
Mkataba wetu sisi na wao unatuwezesha kupeleka sukari Nairobi tukitumia shilingi 1 na peni 1. Mkataba huu pia una manufaa kwa hiki kiwanda kwa sababu wakati mabogi yanarejea kutoka Nairobi, tuna nafasi ya kubeba mbolea na pembejeo zingine kwa matumizi ya kiwanda.
For TV 47 from Bungoma, Mike Kagwongo.
Thank you, Kagwongo Mike, for that report. Elsewhere, Stony Athi in Kajiado County was as busy as a beehive as KRA destroyed contraband goods that were confiscated in the course of the financial year. Mudhoni Maina now reports.
KRA, in liaison with the multi-agency team against illicit trade on Wednesday, destroyed illegal accessible products that have an extrapolated market value of 1 billion shillings at Stony Athi, Kajiado County. According to the Commissioner of Domestic Taxes and Head of Enforcement, Rispa Simiyu, the products seized have resulted to a loss of taxes worth over 400 million Kenya shillings.
We are destroying these goods worth about 1 billion seized across the country with a tax value of about 400 million.
Among the products destroyed were 379,760 bottles of spirits, 60 drums of raw spirit, 36,615 bottles of beer, 11,000 bottles of wine, and 197,000 packets of cigarettes. Rolls of counterfeit excise stamps were also destroyed. KRA is at the forefront in the fight against contraband goods of businesses that operate in the opposite direction of the law or tax implications. Commissioner Simiyu noted that these marked a significant milestone in the fight against illicit trade and an epitome of how the multi-agency team that was established so as to serve as a platform of equal and healthy business operations, looking keenly at the interests of the consumers.
KRA is working very closely with a multi-agency task force established by His Excellency the President Uhuru Kenyatta to steer operations in combating illicit trade and contraband goods. Secondly, KRA has embarked in a rigorous taxpayer education program to sensitize all taxpayers and other stakeholders, not only key industry players, but also all taxpayers in general, of the negative effects of illicit trade and contraband goods.
Kenyans have been urged to collaborate with the government in order to fight illegal trade in the country. Mudhoni Maina, TV 47.
From business news, let's get to the world of sports. Dennis Otieno is with us. Dennis, Chelsea's win last night seemed as though it was a perfect payback.
Indeed, Abubakar, like someone once said, a wise person said, lightning doesn't strike the same place twice. After Leicester City winning the FA Cup final after beating Chelsea, in the English Premier League, Chelsea emerged victorious. Of course, that's going to be one of the stories we're going to be talking about tonight. We shall also be telling you about what went down in a rescheduled FKF Premier League match between Mathare United and KCB. Now, this and more coming up.